Hello everyone, I'm Scott. I just wanted to make this video to speak to those who may be going through something right now. Maybe you're going through a difficult time, just like how I have gone through difficult times in the past. It can feel so overwhelming. Even those little times can feel so overwhelming. And in the past, when I was in high school, I've talked about this many times, but when I was in high school, I was at the lowest point that I have ever been in. That's what it felt like. And I would say, even now, I still remember that point being so bad because there was a lot of things that I was learning about myself, that I was trying to understand about myself, and that just made it more difficult. On top of that, I had major anxiety. So even going to school was a challenge for me, trying to get my foot out of the door to then go to school was such a challenge for me. A bit like everything, I feel like we can learn from those things. And I just want to talk about the main reason why I'm making this video is because one thing that helped me was actually talking to people. I had teachers in that school and I had my friends, my family that I was talking to. Although it was very difficult for me to explain how I was feeling, I still found it so beneficial when I even did explain things. When I had that moment where I was explaining things, and it might have took me a while to explain something, but it just felt like there was such, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, there was so much weight that was lifted off of my shoulders just by telling my friends, my family, even some of the learning assistants that were in the school. So maybe even speaking to someone who you are close with can help in so many ways, just like it did for me. By talking to people, I found it so beneficial. I seen that as the first step to take, to tell people, to get my emotions out there, to try to explain to people, even though I found it very difficult to, but to try and explain as much things as I possibly could. And I felt like there was so much weight lifted off of my shoulders. I felt like I was free in a way. I didn't have so much weight, so much pressure on me. And as time goes on, we will get to a better place. And I know that might sound hard to believe, especially if you are maybe at the lowest point that you have ever been. And I feel like in this world nowadays, not a lot of people talk about their emotions. And that's why I'm making this video, because I feel like it is so important to talk about your emotions. If we don't speak to people about the things that we are experiencing, and a lot of the time for me, I mean, again, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it was just a lot of mentality. It was a lot of mental things. My mentality needed to change. And by telling people, I was able to change. I was able to even initially get that pressure off of my shoulders for me to then walk again without feeling or without stumbling in some way. Even if you know someone, just speak to them, speak to them about how you are feeling inside, because it can help in so many ways. You don't even realize until you actually do it how much it can actually help. Even by talking to people who I knew, my friends, my family, learning assistants, teachers, it helped me so much. For some of the learning assistants, I felt like I could actually just speak to someone as if it was just my family member. It didn't feel like I was speaking to a teacher or a learning assistant. So even just speaking to someone who you already know can help. And I would encourage a lot of people to speak to people, friends, family, teachers. So I hope that this message could help you in any type of way. If you enjoyed this message, if you found this message beneficial, then I would appreciate it if you could please like this video then and subscribe down below. And if you know anyone that may benefit from listening to this message, maybe you might know someone who is going through a difficult, challenging moment in their lives, then please send this message to them, send this video to them, and they might actually find it beneficial. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will see everyone in the next one.